Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking about Love Island USA Season 8, Episode 25. Okay, I know I said I was excited about movie night in my last video, and it was good, but I definitely have some thoughts on it. Okay, so we start off this episode with Casey and TT having a conversation, and Casey basically tells TT how his conversation with Anaya went, and Casey says that he feels bad because he does still care about Anaya. Obviously, they had a connection, but he feels like Anaya thinks that Casey just was dishonest with her the entire time they were talking, which I think so too. I also feel like he can't really feel that bad or care that much because he was saying some crazy stuff in Casa and inside the villa too, so he can't feel that bad. And I know when Casey and TT walked into the villa, I said I wanted TT out of the villa because she was arguing with Trinity. And I do still want TT out of the villa because I want Casey out of the villa, but I do think that I don't mind her now. I don't mind her. I don't think that TT is like blindly defending Casey, and I also don't think that TT is like disrespectful to the girls. That's why I don't mind her. I do think she defends Casey when he doesn't need to be defended, but maybe she just thinks that way because she feels like she's seen different stuff than the girls have. I don't know why she does that. Anyways, then Anaya and Carl talk, and finally, a normal Anaya chat where she's not like crying over Casey or anything like that. I'm so glad Carl was voted back into the villa, honestly. But Carl asks her how she feels about their connection. She says that she feels really good. Then she asks Carl how he feels about their connection, and he says he feels really good. He says that he was worried or like he kind of had his walls up, like he said before, because of the whole Casa situation and her not picking him. But he says that he's happy now, and then they kiss. Honestly, like when I see Anaya with Carl, I feel like she's happier than she was with Casey. So I'm just confused on why she even chose Casey to begin with over Carl. Okay. Then Kenzie and Dylan talk, and Kenzie tells Dylan about her conversation that she had with Gall, and she tells him that they made out. And she does say that the conversation that she had with Gall did make her realize that she had feelings for Dylan. I have come to the realization, though, about Kenzie that she's honestly just the female version of Sincere. Maybe she's not as bad, but she is giving Sincere. Anyways, Dylan was upset. Like, I was not expecting this at all. He was crying. I was confused. Honestly, I was thinking, like, is he a scammer? Because the fact that he was crying over Kenzie, that just was so confusing to me. I did feel a little bit bad for him though, because I was like, is he really crying? Like, if he's really crying, I feel bad. But at the same time, like, Kenzie and him have only been together for like a week, maybe. And Kenzie is known to explore two guys at once. Like, what was he expecting? We've known this. Dylan was still crying before bedtime though, so I guess he was serious. Yeah, it seemed serious. Then Anaya and Sincere talk, and Anaya tells Sincere about her conversation with Carl. She's super happy. I do like the Anaya and Sincere friendship. Like I liked it in the beginning, but I do feel like right now it's just like Sincere was definitely like hyping Casey up in Casa. So I don't know how I feel about it now. In this conversation though, Sincere says that he's done exploring and he wants to close it off with Melanie. I'm happy that they didn't have that conversation before movie night because yeah. In the morning, Kenzie and Anaya have a conversation, and Anaya says that she feels more closure after talking with Casey and just kind of ending that chapter. Then Kenzie kind of explains her situation with Gall and Dylan. She says that she likes Gall, but she likes Dylan more, and she wants to pursue Dylan. She then tells Anaya that Dylan was really upset about the fact that she kissed Gall last night, but she says to her, kissing is like a handshake, it's just to see if they have chemistry. She says that she feels weird now because she was wanting to explore Gall and just explore more, but now she feels like she hurts Dylan, so she doesn't know if she should explore anymore. But honestly, how much more exploring do you need? I think most of the time when people explore this late in the game, like after Casa and stuff, it's because they don't really like their connection with their current couple, so they're just exploring to get out of that. But Kinsey likes Dylan, so I'm not really understanding it. Also, I think most of the time when people explore this late in the game, it's like a new bombshell or something, but she's exploring Gaul, who was in Casa with her, and she could have just explored him in Casa. So, yeah, I don't get it. Then Gaul and Carl talk, and Gaul says that he doesn't want to be stuck in a love triangle, so he thinks that he might just remove himself from the Kinsey and Dylan situation. So at this point, I feel like Gaul was only with Jen so that he can make it back to the villa because he went from liking Jen and Casa and then switching up on her really fast to explore Kinsey and then saying that he doesn't want to explore Kinsey. So it's feeling like he was scamming. Anyways, Gaul says that he wants to explore Amora, so I guess we're gonna have that now. Then Jen and Kata talk about the Gaul and Kinsey situation, and Kata tells Jen that Kinsey kissed Gaul. Jen says that she doesn't care that they kissed, but she's irritated because Kinsey didn't tell her, and Kinsey said that they were going to be transparent with each other. She then says that she feels like Kinsey is just a flirt and she likes attention, and it's not cute. So then Kinsey and Jen finally talk, and Kinsey tells Jen that her and Gaul kiss. Jen says that she already knows and that she basically was irritated. Kinsey gets mad because she feels like Jen is getting mad at her for exploring someone. Jen says that she's not mad for that reason. Then Kinsey gets mad because she feels like Jen is calling her a bad friend, which, I mean, honestly, I like Jen for that. She called her out, and I can appreciate that. Then Kinsey and Dylan talk, and Kinsey's basically just ranting about her conversation with Jen, where Jen called her out and called her a bad friend. And Dylan says that he understands where Jen is coming from, and then Dylan starts talking about his feelings, which I understand because why would Kinsey even have that conversation with him when he already didn't like the fact that Kinsey and Gaul kiss? Like, girl, context clues, please. Then Dylan says that he wants to know if she's 100% or if she's still trying to explore. And Kenzie said that she doesn't want to explore anymore. She just wants to pursue Dylan. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find a picture of her face, but she did not seem happy to say that. I think she said that to please him, but she did not look happy to say that at all. Then Amora and Gaul talk, and I don't know what this connection is. I don't know if Gaul is reaching for something so he can stay in the villa, grasping at straws. I don't know. But I did not like it. The vibe was off. They did not match each other at all. I don't think that they're compatible. Gaul said that he liked her, and maybe he does, but I don't know if Amora likes him. I really don't think she does. Okay, then movie night happens, and I think it was good. Like, there's gonna be two parts. I think it was okay, but I feel like there's been better movie nights and they could have done something better, perhaps. So before movie night happens, Casey is nervous because he knows what he's been saying. He knows he's been acting crazy. Zach tells Kata that he said some stuff, so he's worried. Then Kata gets mad because she's like, why would you say that? Like, if you're being honest with me, you shouldn't be worried, which, true. All I wanted this movie night was for KC to get exposed, Zach to get exposed, and Sincere to get exposed. That's it. Okay, let me talk about this first movie. So the first movie is for Zach and Alana, and I feel like this was one of the worst movie night videos ever. Like, I didn't like it. It was like nothing there. Like, there was no point in even showing the video. I also feel like it didn't show Zach in a bad light at all, and that's what I wanted to see. So the first clip is just his first chat with Alana. It's not that bad, to be honest. Um, Kato was basically doing the same thing in Casa with the like conversations. Then the second and third clip shows Zach and Alana kissing. Again, not that bad because he already told Kato about that. Then the fourth clip is Kato crying about the postcard. Yeah. Then at the end, Zach apologizes, but he says he told her what happened, so he doesn't know what else to say. Kata says that she was respectful during the whole Casa Amor experience, and it just hurts to see the clips like shown to her like that. At the end of the day, like Kata's most likely still gonna be with him. Then the second movie is KC, and this was a lot. Like, this one was good. So the first clip shows Casey calling Anaya a grandma. Yeah, the producers ate. They showed that clip, then boom, immediately commercial break. I was hooked. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that clip because that was disrespectful. Then the second clip is Casey saying Anaya wanted him to be serious all the time, which never happened. Anaya just said she wanted him to be serious in serious conversations. Then the third clip is Casey saying he hasn't explored enough, and if a bombshell walks in, he would explore. Yeah. Then the fourth clip is Casey saying he feels restricted because Anaya won't let him explore. Then the fifth clip is Casey kissing TT on the first night of Casa, and Anaya was like, that was fast. Then the sixth clip is Casey saying the girls in the villa don't understand his power, so basically showing his huge ego. Then there's a clip of Sincere saying that Casey is better with TT and it's night and day compared to how he acts with Anaya. And Anaya was mad at Sincere for this because Sincere is supposed to be Anaya's friend and he was saying that to Casey and Casa. So, yeah. Also, during this movie, Kata finds out that Alana was kicked out of Casa after the second night. So there was no way for Zach to even bring her back, even though he said he would have never brought a girl back and he would have just chose Kata. But he couldn't have done that because there was no girl for him to bring back. Okay, after the movie, Trinity sticks up for Anaya and she asks Casey if he felt like him and Anaya had nothing in common, why was he dragging the connection? Then Melanie says it looks like he used Anaya to stay in the villa longer. Then the boys start arguing with the girls and it was a lot. Anaya says this is what she meant when she called him cowardly. Then the girls start dragging the boys for hyping Casey up during Casa, and the boys are like, "No, no, like we were shocked, like we didn't know this was happening. We were just going off what Casey was telling us." And then TT steps up and says that they were telling her that they never seen Casey as happy as he is. I was like, "Okay, TT, you got me. I like that." Then Kata brings up Alana leaving on day 2 and Zach not telling her, and Zach is irritated because he feels like they were gonna like be cool after the first clip was shown. Like there was nothing really bad in his Zach and Alana movie, but this clip, like he feels like Kata might not forgive him. She's gonna forgive him. But the girls were telling Kata that Zach was really only focused on her and not Alana. Like the Casa girls are saying, like, "Oh, Zach didn't even cuddle. Like he only talked about you." So yeah. Then the third movie is Anaya and Carl. And I liked this movie. It was very cute. The girls were like, "Oh, like so cute," and the boys were saying it was a double standard. I knew the boys are gonna get mad. I don't feel like it's a double standard. The girls don't feel like it's a double standard. The reason I don't, I might be biased because I don't like Casey, but the girls mentioned this too. What Casey did in Casa was disrespectful to Anaya. Anaya never disrespected Casey. Anaya also only started exploring like that hard, like kissing Carl and stuff, once she found out what Casey was doing in Casa. Once she saw that he was kissing TT outside of the challenges and that he was like on the big screen doing too much when they first got into Casa. Anaya says that she only had a problem with Casey because he was disrespectful to her and not because he brought TT in because she has nothing against TT. Then Zach says that Zach brings up the fact that when Casey and TT walked in, the girls immediately started like yelling at him and ganging up on him. But I feel like it's not that bad because the reason they did that, I think, was because Anaya was standing up there alone and she was crying, and Casey walked in the villa like smiling and laughing and basically acting like he just didn't care. I feel like that's the only reason they really did that. Then TT says if the roles were reversed, the girls or the boys wouldn't have ganged up on Anaya like the girls did Casey. TT lost me there. Low key, Carl looked like he did not want to be there. Like he was crying and hiding his face in the pillow, and it was bad. It was just a lot of yelling and a lot of drama. And I don't know how Carl was feeling, but I think it was just due to the fact that they are like he was in that clip and it looks bad on him maybe. I don't think it was that bad for him, but he was upset. Okay, I just found out he's a water sign, so he might just be an emotional person, which I get that. So the fourth movie is Soul and Sincere, and the first clip is Sincere kissing Soul. Melanie knew about this kiss, so I don't think she cared that much about this part because he told her and he didn't technically ask for the kiss. Then the second clip is Sincere saying he's interested and wants to explore Soul, and then Sincere leaning into kiss Soul. Melanie knew about this kiss, but she didn't know that Sincere was the one who kissed Soul. Like, Sincere told her that Soul kissed him. Then the other clip is Sincere saying he's not going to explore Soul anymore, and then him kissing Soul in Soul Ties. Then him calling both Melanie and Soul beloved. I mean, the movie is basically just showing Sincere being dishonest and telling Soul one thing and like kind of basically making Soul feel like their connection was something more than it was, and then acting like it wasn't that big of a deal to Melanie. Melanie starts crying and Sincere starts speaking. He apologizes and says that he knows he did a lot, and said a lot of stuff, but he knew what his choice was going to be at the end of the day, and that was Melanie. Then Melanie doesn't say anything. She was really upset. Is this enough for her to leave him for good? Please let it be. Anyways, Anaya is a great friend. Like, she was comforting her and making sure like she knew that she wasn't crazy and that she had a right to be upset, and basically just hyping her up. And I really love Melanie and Anaya's friendship. Like, the fact that Anaya was like comforting Melanie during this, and then Melanie was comforting Anaya when she was crying over the KC situation, like, very cute. Anyway, that's all I have for tonight's episode. Movie night part 2 is happening on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.